Hello, sports fans, and welcome to the Scott Sports 101 Sunday Night Football postgame show and Monday Night Football update show. We'll get to the Monday night game in a moment. But first, before we get to recap Sunday night game, here's today's Scott Sports 101 Monday Night Football Week 16 trivia question. It's a Packers trivia question. What Green Bay Packers quarterback holds the team record for most passing yards in a season? And I'll have the answer later in the podcast. Well, we're going to recap the Sunday night game. Texas All-Pro Baker Mayfield came home to Texas looking to keep his Tampa Bay Buccaneers on track for the playoffs. Instead, they'll need some help. Cooper rushed through a touchdown pass, and Brandon Aubrey kicked two 58-yarders among the four field goals Sunday night, boosting the Dallas Cowboys to a 26-24 victory that cost the Bucs control of their playoff fate. The end of a four-game winning streak left Tampa Bay 8-7, even with Atlanta at top of the NFC South. With 2 games remaining, the Falcons have the tiebreaker because they won both meetings with the Bucs, who were on a 4-year playoff run. We lost. We fell back in the pack, Coach Todd Bowles said. We've got to eat it. Can't spend it too much time. Can't spend too much time on it. We had our chances. We've got to take care of us and let everything else take care of itself. A 3-year playoff streak for the Cowboys, who are 7-8, ended when they were eliminated from the postseason contention before a primetime kickoff. Still, Dallas won for the 4th time in 5 games since a 5-game losing streak that put those playoff hopes in peril. Dallas hopes officially ended about 4 hours before the game when Washington scored in the final seconds to beat Philly. There wasn't a whole lot of conversation about it, Coach Mike McCarthy said. I made the point before the game, just play the way we always play. We're playing really dang good football these past 4 or 5 weeks. Let's grind this thing out. Excuse me. Uh, and Mayfield, the former Texas high school standout, playing not far from his Heisman Trophy winning days at Oklahoma, was in a was in position to rally from a 9-point deficit late when he escaped a sack and shoveled the ball to Rashad White in the final 2 minutes. Deron Bland ripped the ball out of White's hands before the Tampa Bay running back hit the ground at the Bucs 32, allowing the Cowboys to run out the clock. Mayfield threw for 303 yards and 2 touchdowns, including a 13-yarder to Ryan Miller that pulled the Bucs within 2 with 2:36 to go. The Bucs got the ball back with 1:40 remaining, but the next play was the big one from Bland, who forced his first turnover in an injury plagued season, a year after the cornerback set an NFL record with 5 interception returns for touchdowns. White initially was carrying the ball in one hand away from his body after getting it from Mayfield before pulling it into his body, and Bland closed in. He had 2 hands on the ball. Obviously, you've got to be careful, Mayfield said. The same thing happened to me earlier in the game. They made some plays when it mattered, and it's all about the ball, and they did a good thing taking it away. The Cowboys appeared in firm control when Jordan Lewis took the ball away from Jalen McMillan for an interception at the Dallas goal line. On a deep throw with about 6 minutes remaining, Dallas failed to get a first down after that turnover, and again, after the Bucks pulled within 2. The defense came through again, though. We had to have it with the takeaways there in the fourth quarter. It's remarkable just to see the bounce back, McCarthy said. A Tampa Bay defense that allowed an NFL low 15 points during the winning streak had trouble early trying to slow Rush and receiver CeeDee Lamb, who had a 100-yard first half for the second week in a row. Lamb, who has been battling, battling a bum right shoulder most of the season, came down hard on it again on a 52-yard catch in the second quarter after going to the bench. Lamb returned for a catch underneath and fought his way inside the 1-yard line to set up Ezekiel Elliott's plunge for a 20-7 lead. Lamb finished with 105 yards after getting 100 before the break a week after going for 105 first half yards and 116 total in a 30-14 victory at Carolina. Rush threw for 292 yards with a 10-yard TD to Jalen Tolbert in the first quarter. Mayfield needed less than a minute on a drive to his 11-yard touchdown pass to Jalen McMillan in the final minute of the first half, but the Cowboys answered with Aubrey's second 58-yard field goal on the final play before the break for a 23-14 lead. I've said it all along, this group will not quit, Mayfield said. That's the standard that we try to set. It'd be nice not to have to be in that situation if we take care of business earlier in the game with his 3 field goals, at least 50 yards. Aubrey has 14 for the season and an NFL record. Houston's Kayami Fairbairn has 13, so the record remains up for grabs. Tampa Bay wide receiver Sterling Shepard was ruled out in the second half with a hamstring injury. Cowboys linebacker Eric Kendricks was inactive with a calf injury after going through a pregame workout. The Buccaneers will have to regroup as they host Carolina next Sunday at Raymond James Stadium, and the Cowboys will be at Lincoln Financial Stadium this Sunday to take on the Philadelphia Eagles. And that game with Buccaneers Carolina is this Sunday. And right now, I have to give the game balls to the Dallas Cowboys. Cooper Rush, 26 of 35 carries and attempts, 392 yards, 1 touchdown. I think it's Ezekiel Elliott. 1 attempt, 1 yard, 1 touchdown. And CeeDee Lamb, 7 attempts, 7 receptions, 105 yards. So Dallas goes to 7-8. Tampa Bay falls to 8-7, and they need a little help to get back to the playoffs if they want it. And we will get to tonight's Monday night game in just a moment. But right now, it is time to reveal the answer to today's Scott Sports 101 NFL Week 16 trivia question. And it's a Packers trivia question. Which Packers quarterback holds the team record for most passes in a single season? If you said Aaron Rodgers, you are correct. It's 2011 Green Bay Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers threw for 4,643 yards after setting a team record for the most passing yards in a season and surpassing Clint Dickey's previous record of 4,448 yards. And I will have another trivia question on my next podcast, so stay tuned for that. And right now we're going to talk about the Monday night game going on. And it's Green Bay it's the New Orleans Saints and the Green Bay Packers at legendary Lambeau Field in Green Bay. And 15 seconds till halftime in the second quarter. It's 21-0 Green Bay. First and 10 at the Green Bay 34. The Saints have the ball, and I'm going Tell you what plays have gone down. What has gone down in the first two quarters. The Packers scored their first touchdown of the game in the first quarter. Short left pass, short middle to Wicks for the 2-yard touchdown. McManus's extra point is good, and it was 7-0 Packers. New Orleans had to punt after going 3 and out, 6 plays, 21 yards, and then the Packers scored their second touchdown of the game. It was first and goal to New Orleans at the New Orleans 2. Josh Jacobs, left tackle for 2 yards for the 2-yard touchdown. McManus's extra point is good, and it was 14-0 Packers at the end of the first quarter. Second quarter, which is winding down. At the beginning of it, though, the Saints had to punt after going 3 and out, 3 plays, no yards. And then the Packers scored their third touchdown of the game. Brooks up the middle for the 1-yard touchdown, which was Chris Brooks. And McManus's extra point is good, was 21-0. And then the Saints fumbled the ball. Second and 9 at the Green Bay 29. Rattler sacked at the Green Bay 39 for minus 10 yards. Fumbles and Nixon recovered by Green Bay. And Gary at the Green Bay 34. And then the Packers had to punt after going 3 and out. 3 plays, 6 yards. And then on the current drive right now, it was first and 10 at the Green Bay 34. Rattler sacked at the Green Bay 46 for minus 12 yards. And that is where we stand. And we have 9 seconds till halftime. Second and 24 at the Green Bay 48. Saints have the ball, 21-0 Green Bay. Rattler passing complete short left. Second and 22 at the Green Bay 46. No gain. So that's where we stand. Can the Saints rally, or will Green Bay go on to win? So we'll have to wait and see. Well, that's just about going to wrap it up for the Scout Sports 101 Sunday Night Football postgame show, Monday Night Football update show. I'll be back with the Monday Night Football postgame show once the game between the Packers and Saints has concluded. But until then, always remember, be a team player each and every day in every way possible. So long, everybody. 3, 2, 1. I'm done.